little bit more fun to watch. Although watching people click heads on Widowmaker is also quite fun. Just like he's actually sticking on the Widow. We're seeing Junkrat too on the defense, so spam mixed with a little bit of Widowmaker, not too bad. Plus getting the damage reduced from the Bursty. That's going to be a very, very quick Infosights plus Riptires, which could dismantle Skyfoxes phase 2 pretty quickly if they're not careful.
Yeah, if we look at phase 2's current comp, they're hovering over in spawn. We don't know if it's Onyx right now is going to be actually scouting out and coming back to spawn in order to change. I wouldn't be surprised if we see just Onyx move out, but just like everyone's coming out. So this means that Attitude and his Riptire, it's a first win condition here for phase 2. If they can get a quick pick onto Nishik or Faz or King, then the fight will basically be over.
Alright, Junkrat doing Junkrat things, spam in the corner. However, Onyx, he's just scouting out, just making sure the rest of his team are aware of the composition that Skyfoxes are running. They can hear buds from a mile away. I think he is going to try and maybe get a pick onto Lastro, but it's just like he's backing off to point. King changing over to the Genji, however, so going a little bit more dive-centric.
And Nishik to the Ana as well, so there could be potential if they want to combine either the Blade with the EMP or the Nano. Pika is actually going to be halted into the trap right there, so nice remix.
Yeah, he's going to go on the floor, can't join his tanks. Duplicate ends up going down. That's why you've got to be careful, man. I said, the trap, you're going to be ended really fast, and if Remix can instantly replace that shield, Pika is pretty damn useless on the Diva. King is going to fall as well, but 55% on Dragon Blade, that's pretty quick considering how it went.
And you mentioned this particular tech when we were beginning King's Row as well, Jaws. Look at where Attitude has set down his trap, right on top of where FaZe and iRemix are standing. iRemix has so much armor, if Duplicate wants to do a significant amount of damage to that, he has to land his leap directly. And in order to do that, he's basically leaping into the trap. Either that or iRemix halts him into the trap, which is exactly what happened with Pika last time.
Uh-oh, Buds get jumped on. Use that grappling hook to get away. They're just deciding to go for the point this time instead. King is going to go down first, and Nishik is going to fall as Buds did click on his head right in the center and ends up falling. Duplicate using that Primal Rage, but actually stuck in a trap. And FaZe, 4 people instantly killing him. 1000 HP turned to nothing. 2 ticks have been acquired, like you said, from phase 2, but they're going to have to go again, hoping for that Nano Blade. However, look at the ults coming through from the side of Skyfoxes. Supercharger coming up, and they got the Transcendence as well to actually match the Blade.
I gotta say, I think FaZe and Attitude dropped the ball there. That was a pretty clean fight from Skyfoxes, but they gave away 2 ticks to make it work. And now they don't have any leeway if Onyx decides to move out of stealth on the point. FaZe has to be there constantly, because they don't have anything to really, like, they can lose point A even if they win the fight, and then they've got to back off anyway, and they can be caught out while they move because of Orisa's nature with that static shield.
Well, that's pretty horrible if you're a Summer player. Infosite's getting popped. Know exactly where you are. However, it does lead you to it's a pretty accurate timer of how long Infosites does actually last. It just says detected on your screen, of course, when you are in stealth, and the Widowmaker has popped the site, so they know it's gone now, so they could potentially go for a dive.
It's also worth noting that you can actually time the Infosites incredibly exactly by waiting until that detected is gone on your Sombra as well, if you're staying in cover at the time, if you aren't tracking it precisely, but most of these teams will be. Straight away, EMP, and there is a Riptire coming in.
Oh, beautiful self-destruct from Pika, though. Mac and Attitude are going to go down. The positioning from Lastro, though, was just perfect. Didn't get caught with the EMP, but it didn't matter. King still gets a triple kill. And in fact, Lastro gets slept. So they are able to cap and actually stall out Lastro, too. He's on the back line. There's no way he's going to be able to make it to the rest of his team.
Yeah, he's going to have to be in on the flank. Nishik may well be the primary target right here, but look at this presence from phase 2 already on the point. King did use that blade potentially a little bit frivolously in the last attack.
Lastro's on the flank, boys. He's found Nishik. Nishik in trouble. He's going to get booted away by Faz. There's a self-destruct. Gets thrown in the room to protect him.
The self-destruct.
Finding him a kill as well. Lastro finally falls, but FaZe with the perfect timing on the deep bomb ends up securing the kill on the Lucio, ending the fight.
I feel that King, like I said before, investing the Dragon Blade when they'd already got 2 picks from an EMP bomb was very poor form. I think if that was saved to try and capitalize on momentum on second point, we could have seen phase 2 have a full count with 4 minutes left in the bank. And to be honest, I think it was an incredibly dangerous play as well, because Attitude had the Riptire out ready to go. He could have been easily picked off with that Dragon Blade if he didn't get the pixel perfect slash onto it.
Oh, mirror comms, Harry. 3-3, kind of, with the Sombra, of course. So a bit of a 3-2-1 with Sombra. Not entirely sure what you want to call that comp. Trying to get the hack on the Reinhardt in the front line. Remix, success into that as Onyx does pelt him full of bullets in the back of the head. FaZe is going to go down as well to Faz. They're going to put themselves on the point. Spawn advantage, however, to Skyfoxes, and they still have that trance. Laster actually using it right here, right now, in order to buy a little bit more time. Buds is coming in with the EMP as well. It's instantly cancelled. King flips round 180 shield bash to cancel it out.
Wonderful reactions there from King, and now Faz is free to use the sandbar. He knows it cannot be stripped away by Buds. Remix once again trying his best to survive on the corner, but Duplicate's going to be swinging in.
Yeah, Mac's actually behind Duplicate's shield as well, so wasn't actually giving the healing to iRemix. He ends up going down. The Shadow's going to connect to the floor as well. Point capped by FaZe 2 in almost an instantaneous fashion. Only took them 2 pushes.
You know what, Jaws? I think I know what we can call this comp, and it's based on your favorite movie.
Hackers from 1994?
Yeah, we can call it the I'm in comp.
I'm in. I mean, yeah, okay. No, but okay. I like the idea, but absolutely no. I was going to say Hacker Man maybe, but...
Hacker Man?
Hacker Man, yeah. It's like, I don't even know what it is.
I'm going to be honest with you. We need more 90s hacking memes.
It's like a YouTube short that's like styled in the like early 90s. He's got one of those Nintendo Power Gloves and stuff. I don't know, man. It's a terrible name for the comp regardless. 3-2-1 with Sombra. There you go. The perfect naming convention. You name how many supports, how many DPS, how many tanks, and then say what's the irregularity.
You could name it after the comms, like the 3-2-1 hack. It's less syllables.
It is.
You gotta think casting technicalities here, Jules. 3-2-1 hack is less syllables. Still 4 syllables though.
But who's gonna? Where are you gonna jump into solo queue? Can we go the 3-2-1 hack comp?
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna be like,
can we go? I'm in.
Get our voice. So okay. All right. See you later.
Implying a Sombra would ever be in voice.
Yeah, that's true. Funnily enough, actually, I had a Sombra today in my game that was not in voice.
That's the most important character to have.
It's just the reality of it.
Look where Duplicate and Pika are currently scouting out right here. Duplicate's in the room, so he's probably going to be waiting to wrap around behind for an attempt at a dive, maybe. Or just a drop on, of course, because one of the advantages of playing Winston on the defense is that you can drop onto a team as they move on you and still have that leap available to escape after. Unless you get hacked, of course, by Buds.
Ouch. Oh, Buds, I mean, he's trying to find it.
He's going to find them.
He knows exactly where everybody is, translocates backwards, and I think they sniffed it out. They must have done.
Maybe give him a boop voice line.
Yeah. Boop, boop. Well, Pika is going to be now spamming the main choke in order to try and find the Sombra. Doesn't look like they're going to change up. Just standard 3-2-1 this time around with the Reinhardt, no Winston.
So Skyfoxes here just want to force a fight on the point. They know that phase 2 basically won't be able to brawl out with him that effectively on the point. Duplicate's already going to try and move in, and he's already used his leap. This could prove fatal if the team decide to round upon him.
Nah, he's alright. He had Desire Shield as well, Harry. He's good. They just want to rotate to the point rather quickly. Mac had the speed boost up, so was able to do that. iRemix ends up going down there. Maybe
right click, actually, my dude. Right click.
Right click straight to the dome. He ends up falling, and that'll be Lastro going down as well. Supports with the most kills in this game so far. Phase 2 end up finding 4 people from Skyfoxes. 1 person yet to escape. FaZe getting escorted out by Mac. Rather quick reset though coming through from Skyfoxes.
A quick reset is exactly what they need because Nishik has quite the commute to come back. He's actually going to get picked up here by Faz to bring him back to the fight a little bit more quickly. But for now, it's just 4 people on the defense for Skyfoxes, or rather 4 people on the defense for phase 2. But Skyfox is still waiting, and now both the supports have returned. They've lost that advantage that a pick would have given.
Well, Duplicate jumps in again. Zoom's got the Primal Rage. This time they attempt to punish him, but still receiving the speed boost. Jump gets reset, jumps back onto the high ground. FaZe doing the same thing with his thrusters, but was met with King on the Brigitte. They're going to jump onto the point. That Primal Rage is available rather soon. Mark could choose to use it to try and stall out the point a little bit longer or push everybody out of the way into Onyx's waiting clutches. Finds the kill onto Remix. A Transcendence from Lastro actually to make sure they survive on point. But Onyx, he has the grab already. He can just throw it in willy-nilly. He doesn't really seem to care. There is a beat as well coming through from Skyfoxes straight into the EMP, but FaZe is there with the eats. Self-destruct gets thrown in after us as well. Onyx, you can take that right back, my sons. He takes out Faz too.
Well, have you ever seen a better advertisement for a player than FaZe just did in that fight? Nishik's still got the Discord orb on him. Attitude's going to chase him down. Potential for a pin there. Remix is going to crush him up. And that is going to be a messy fight for Skyfoxes, but a successful one. They will have 5 minutes and about 25 seconds left on the clock when they cap this one out, and crucially, Birds just held onto that Graviton Surge, and Faz, he desperately needs to do some healing if he wants any chance of countering this.
FaZe just solo carrying that point. It's no worries, team. I got this. Eating the grab and double kill the self-destruct. Not a problem.
We got
phase
2 and
right
Faz in here.
It's kind of confusing, not gonna lie. Let's be fair to ourselves. But has that Graviton Surge, so ready to rock and roll. Self-destruct on top of the high ground, not quite sure about that one. A beat is met with a Transcendence as Lastro is going to make sure his team stays alive. Remix hits the floor with that Earth Shatter. Only one was punished by it, and it was Onyx. That will be Rally being used by King also in order to keep his team alive on that point. King ends up running straight headfirst into iRemix, sending him to the floor, and iRemix's doom was met.
Trades here aren't good for Skyfoxes. They've lost Remix, and maybe time to just disengage right now. There's going to be so much damage coming in towards them, and Onyx can build up towards yet another Graviton Surge. But, well, Pika, what happened with that self-destruct? I guess he, like, misread the instructions. It says launch at enemy, but it thought it said look at enemy when he pressed Q.
He didn't press shift. I'm telling you right now. He was like, I've got him, boys. You got that grab ready?
I got him.
I'm gonna throw it in.
It's a long range self-destruct.
Yeah. To be fair, Onyx didn't even have the Graviton Surge to mix with it. Not sure what Pika was doing, but hey, he should be able to build up with one rather swiftly. He's at 50% already, so that feels pretty good for him.
Yeah, Onyx, of course. We are going to be seeing Transcendence versus Transcendence here, so an early attempt to bait these out could be incredibly effective. Lastro's going to have to use his already.
Defensive self-destruct from FaZe to make sure no one could jump onto it. Self-destruct not available now for Pika to combo. There's the beat coming through from the side of Skyfoxes. The shadow from Duplicate sends Max to the floor, but he receives an armor fact to keep him alive. Another couple of rallies come out, and King actually hits the floor from his self-destruct as well, being used more defensively. Divas do not want to kill people, they just want to protect their team with it. Duplicate ends up going down, and Remix is soon to follow. They trade Rhine for Rhine, but Skyfoxes still have spawn advantage. They need to find picks, Harry.
Yeah, Varine's going back here. It does mean that Duplicate's going to be coming back a whole lot faster, and Skyfoxes may decide to reset here, but they're actually going to commit. Faz using the sand barrier. There is a zoning self-destruct coming through. We'll catch Duplicate, a little bit of a charity charge there.
2 people already dead now for phase 2, though. Duplicate is actually going to follow. That sound barrier from Faz used right to the end. I believe only caught 2 people. There's still 3 minutes on the clock. They can still roll on in. King actually switching over to the Mei to try and stall out. This could be just the 3 ticks right here, right now. FaZe doing a perfect job of body blocking. They managed to get it out in the end, but Faz hitting only 2 people with that sound barrier, I believe. Couldn't inflict the rest of his team members, couldn't enable them to cement themselves on the point. They had the spawn advantage, but gave it up in the end. Only 7 seconds taken off the time bank. Not too tragic. But now they get their chance once more to attack.
Yeah, Remix there got a pretty smart swap onto the Wrecking Ball as well, managing to return to the point in record time. I think it was in like 5 seconds later than Duplicate was, which is a huge boon to the offense to be back at full strength so quickly. And to be honest, I'm not really sure how Phase 2 managed to lose that fight. Like, of course, Faz's sound barrier wasn't as effective as one would like, and something that I did notice earlier in that fight is that when Duplicate hit a shatter, both Lastro and Mac were taken down onto the floor, but for some reason Phase 2 continued to focus iRemix, who had full shield and basically all of his health. There were like 2 stun supports, so they could have easily picked off, but didn't go for it, and mystified me.
Shoot the giant floating square rectangle.
Yeah,
shoot it. It'll go down eventually.
Going full moth mode. Ooh, shiny.
Shoot the shield. It gets your accuracy up. Well, not anymore. They took that away, unfortunately. Long have gone the days, Harry, when your soldier was at 90% accuracy.
Overbuff will never forgive them.
Same kind of compositions coming out. I mean, Buds is going to be on the Sombra. Potentially just to do some scouting. You can see the rest of the team are staying in spawn. Yeah,
Did actually get caught out there with the old stealth check from Pika, so gonna go straight back onto that Zaya. Just gonna play it standard right here, but Phase 2, this time Duplicate, actually gonna go down to the low ground, gonna give up that high ground advantage that they inherently have. It looks like yet another swap back to spawn here for the Skyfoxes. Mind game
almost a minute being wasted here. It's a good 40 seconds at least. But it's changing onto the Sombra. They are going with that triple DPS. They got to projectiles. I'll take that back. Lastro not on the Hanzo. It will be attitude on the Tracer instead. Oh, back into the Hanzo. Okay, you need to make up your mind. You're on the clock.
Limited time right here, and they are messing around a little bit, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a similar comp to what they used for their King's Row attack. And FaZe 2 had trouble dealing with this last time. They were easily picked apart by FaZe on the Pharaoh, and already Duplicate is giving up a lot of shield charge just to basically save only himself from the Pharaoh rockets.
Nishik was on the flank, was actually saved by the rest of his team. They're able to speed towards him, Pika using that defense matrix, but now Pika is so low, almost in no man's land, had to use the thrusters yet again to get back to his team. Is extremely unhealthy, only just then receiving the armor pack from King to keep him alive. And FaZe look 85% on a rocket barrage, and they're contesting the point as well.
And FaZe continues to force out intermittent uses of Pika's defense matrix, so that isn't available elsewhere, like Duplicate just needed right there. Pika's gonna get hacked, here's the barrage, and Faz went up to try and deal with it, but no avail.
That is exactly what you want to do. Hack the D.Va straight into the rocket barrage, however, didn't really hit anybody, but still scared them off. Attitude ends up getting taken down by the Xayah, but they're still training 1-for-1, and Lastra actually going man mode, taking out 2 people. Nishik doing the same thing, supports carrying this point so far. Still Pharah Mercy up in the air, and a Transcendence used by Lastra as he did earn himself that one in the last fight. Ball into the backline too, but the Graviton Surge should just seal the deal for phase 2 on this push. One tick has been acquired by Skyfoxes in 2.5 minutes. They got 50 seconds remaining, Harry.
And crucially, Mac there at the tail end of the fight did invest a Valkyrie, so it won't be available for the next attack. Meanwhile, phase 2 are going to have a significant advantage in support ultimates. Faz ready to go with that sound barrier. Both Lastra and Mac invested theirs, as we said before, but it's going to be hard for that sound barrier to be effective if it gets stripped away by an EMP. So here we need to watch Faz, make sure he doesn't get caught in that EMP. That's what Buds needs. He needs to catch Faz here or outtime him.
Hit EMP and then hit barrage. That is the key to victory for Skyfoxes right now. Nishik is going to go down. Now no Transcendence. Self-destruct up in the air on top of the ledge. Doesn't manage to catch anybody though, and there's the EMP. The barrage comes through as well. Pika's mech didn't stand a chance, and neither did Duplicate as he was taken out by the Storm Arrow. King is going to follow him as well. Onyx gets a little bit of a comeuppance onto FaZe, but it was all said and done. Skyfoxes with a successful push.
It seems like phase 2 they were basically just playing for time after they lost Nishik, because Faz didn't get hacked by the EMP, actually came into a place where he could have saved all of his teammates with the exception of Nishik, who was already dead, and he opted not to use the sound barrier. So here phase 2 are going to be able to use that to really have some huge aggression. They know Mac will not have his sound barrier available, having just swapped over from a Mercy. They know there are very few ults on Skyfoxes, so they can just bully them out using the sound barrier Earthshatter.
Well, Bud's this time on the flank instead, trying to get the hack. Almost went on to Pika there, but Duplicate actually received the shield from the Xayah to make sure that hack didn't actually go through. A Transcendence is met with a sound barrier, so 2 support ultimates down, 1 for each side. Remix's shield going fairly low.
C9, my dudes.
But they C9'd. Okay, I thought Remix was on the point. I'm sure he did as well. Complete C9. This round 3 just ends quite abruptly.
Yeah, pretty abrupt end, but still you can consider taking first point to be a minor victory. This is very much winnable here for the side of Skyfoxes, and if they do win it, they will claim the entirety of the series. Phase 2, meanwhile, will
not want to do that, Harry. They're not going to want to lose.
They're not going to want to lose. You're exactly right, Jules. They are going to have the chance to start a reverse sweep here.
I can't believe they C9'd. To be fair, I was like, this is fine. Remix is on the point, but no. No, he was not. I think he got booped away just ever so slightly by the D.Va, potentially. Even the Reinhardt swing, to be fair, just like a little bit of, just pushes you just a little bit. So
a minute knockback.
Yeah, exactly. So potentially what happened, not entirely sure. All right, they're going out with the same composition again. Are phase 2 going to be able to crack this one as well? King switching over to the Genji. That's what they did last time around, and use that Nano Blade as well. But Bud's on the Widowmaker. That is one scary, scary man when you put him up on high ground with the Mercy as back.
So what I'd like to see here, if phase 2 try the same approach in order to try and take out Skyfoxes, is to see King not invest for Blade. If you can get picks using EMP into self-destruct, you can just act on that. You can win out that fight via attrition after that. I don't think you need to invest a Blade when it's such an important ultimate to try and snowball through second.
Onyx doing some scouting. Maybe actually sticking on this composition. He's going to hear Lastra actually up onto the top right. Waves hello to him, but not going to be able to hear that, unfortunately. Lastra get a little bit too far away to hear the voice line.
He will.
There we go.
Does look like it's going to be more of a roundabout dive this time. Not diving onto Remix, and the trap will be right there. And here, Duplicate can actually receive a long-range healing from Nishik, who Buds is going to have to pick off.
Duplicate jumps straight into the line of sight of FaZe and gets taken out. Onyx goes down as well as Buds did manage to click on him. King using that deflect jumps onto the team, onto the point to make sure he can reset rather quickly. Still have 2 minutes in that time bank though. And remember how long it actually took Skyfoxes to decide what comp they're running. And today's dude, they're making a more use of their time. But Blade only 50% of the way there. They got 2 minutes left.
We're seeing some kind of iteration here, though. Duplicate's no longer going for direct jump onto a Remix. Instead, he's trying to wrap around, go to where Attitude is currently standing. And you can see that Attitude's now also tried to mix up his own trap positioning. He knows that Duplicate no longer wants to be going into where you'd assume the trap is under Orisa, because that's incredibly dangerous. It's going to be a little bit of point pressure from the de-stealthing Sombra.
Yeah. Bud's going to have to back off from the high ground. Same with the supports. They're going to control it now. And that actually Bio Grenade did land on the Mercy. No self-healing for you as Duplicate ends up finding the kill. King just still trying to sneak around the sides, potentially trying to find Buds, who has that info sights available. Fads ends up going down as well, but 3 people now onto that point.
Well, should they cap this, it will actually be a draw at best for Skyfoxes. I have to see if they will be able to do anything with the 1 minute and 45 seconds it will be afforded for second. Like we said before, the Nano Blade will be available as is an EMP. And Jaws, there are very few ways to mess up a Nano Blade EMP. You only need a tick. You can actually invest all of this.
I mean, there are a lot of ways you can mess up, Harry. You don't catch anyone in the EMP. You nano the Lucio instead of the Genji. Just saying, it's a possibility. I'm just saying.
It's Phasma. A booster wouldn't be a waste.
That's true. Phas will just pop
go
off
full Reddit.
Exactly. Nano boost, Genji blades, EMP. That is the key to success right now for phase 2. However, they got to run into Mac. If they catch him first, it's gonna be all over.
And also, Buds will be an important hack target here as well, because his shield bash will be key to trying to shut down King.
EMP straight onto Lastro. He's dead with the ultimate available as well. Nano Blade jumps straight in by King. Finds 2 kills plus the tire also. Self-destruct onto the point to try and find something, but 3 more members jump straight on as well. A self-destruct to clear everybody out. 1 tick is all that they needed. That beat should seal the deal, but Lastro jumps back on with that Transcendence.
Stack support ultimates right here. Attitude returns with the Doomfish trying to take out Onyx, but is quickly evaded.
Bards goes down though, Duplicate finding the kill. Attitude needs to find something extra here, ends up getting hacked and quickly killed by Onyx. And now it's just Remix and FaZe to fight on that point. That Brigitte's coming back rather soon. FaZe with 0 recalls left is going to go down, and that will be phase 2, taking their first map of the series.
Hey Jake, yeah, it's like day. Yeah, 2 out of 10 for that Riptire from Attitude. Yeah, I'd agree. The
2 out of 10. They got killed, Harry.
Yeah, but the premise was solid. He thought he could kill the Genji by using it, but he didn't realize where the Genji was, which was right on top of him, slashed through the tire, slashed through the Junkrat. So yeah, Jake's given that a 2 out of 10. I'd say it's a little bit generous, but we know Jake's a nice guy.
Generous?
He's a nice guy.
That's more than generous. 2 out of 10 got killed by a Nanoblade. I mean, that's pretty impressive in itself. Like you said, it's pretty hard to mess up the EMP straight into a Nanoblade. They didn't mess it up, and they ended up winning. I mean, they caught the Mercy, and then they caught the Zen. The Zen was the key target there because he had the Trance. You can kill people, especially 200 HP sub people, like Tracer, like anything like McCree, quite quickly. You can Nanoblade straight into the dash as well, insta-kills them through Transcendence, but if you just don't have it, the rest of the team's going to die.
Yeah, they're going to break apart, kind of like us, Jaws.
Yeah. Good segue, Harry. We're going to jump to a quick break. It will be Rialto as our next map, however. We'll see you guys in a bit. Hey guys, welcome back. This is Skyfoxes versus Phase 2. Right now, Skyfox is sitting at 2-1 after Horizon Lunar Colony was taken by Phase 2. It's not going to be a clean sweep yet, Harry. However, Rialto is going to be our next map.
Well, sweeps could be on the cards if Phase 2 can manage to win out on Rialto. We would be going to a tiebreaker map, but of course, Skyfoxes want to tie it all up here, and this is their map choice, essentially. They could be trying to go once again for that straight 3-3 versus 3-3 matchup.
Well, maybe we'll see. But there is a small substitution coming through from Skyfoxes. They've got Clone Man in instead of iRemix. So, get to see a little bit of a different perspective this time around. Potentially some cheese coming out from Skyfoxes, I want to say. Subbing in Clone Man, we'll have to wait and see.
I would argue that Clone Man is actually the more reliable Reinhardt player. Like, iRemix is by no stretch of the imagination a bad Reinhardt, but I'd argue that iRemix is also a player you'd want to play if you want to also maybe play an Orisa, maybe play a Winston as well, whereas Clone Man is definitely what I'd call a Reinhardt specialist, and he's incredibly good with that hero, and we know exactly how powerful Reinhardt can be on Rialto. It was basically the map that we saw 3-3 most commonly on, even when teams weren't so keen on running it early in its life cycle.
I mean, 3-3... on Rialto, why would you not run it? The smallest choke point at the start of the game, plus being able to hold right up against the spawn doors as well.
And you got that bridge with environmental kills. If you got a real Reddit Lucio like Faz, or Funny Astro,
or literally any Lucio ever in queue that tries to get the boots, then gets killed instantly.
Oh mate, the hardest inters are Lucios on this first point.
That's me. Hardest inter on Lucio. I am terrible at Lucio. I love it every single time someone's like, hey, you know you're Zen? Could you just go Lucio? I'm like, do you want me to int into their team? He's like, yeah, but you just have to hit speed. I'm like, you're correct, but I can't do damage as well as I can on Zen. Please, just let me play Zen.
Activated.
Yeah, exactly. But then I just, end up getting run over anyway because they play Lucio. I don't know. Horrible situation if you're a Zen player, by the way. Mm-hmm. So I'll just play Ana instead and sleep Lucios. It's fine. It's good.
Our teams are actually going to be swapping colours now. So for those of you who got used to the Skyfoxes in their home blue, I'm afraid you're going to be slightly disappointed, as Phase 2 have decided to defend first. So they want to make sure that they know. Their win condition before they roll out with the composition. I imagine that might be because they want to once again play with those more DPS heavy picks potentially. Although like we said before, you can't really argue with 3-3 on Rialto because it's so effective.
Yeah, this is one of the maps we actually first saw it on 2. So, well, for me, Contenders anyway, from that perspective. But you can run things like Sombra. Do we see birds run on Sombra again? There is a mega health pack in the gardens off to like the back right-hand side if you're looking at the attackers spawn. So there is potential you could run Sombra plus the Widowmaker also. Beautiful sightline obviously down that choke. And the Pharah is also really good on this map because of the amount of buildings you can hide around. There's a lot of potential, and I think a lot of these teams at the moment, they're not getting away from 3-3 because obviously it does work and it is a tried and true tested composition, but they are favoring these more DPS heavy comps. So gotta be honest, I wouldn't be too surprised to see, especially out of Skyfoxes.
I gotta admit, with a little smattering of DPS we've been shown, I'm becoming a little bit of a fan of the North American way of approaching things. A couple of different, interesting comps. I gotta admit, that's the first time I've seen like that Genji-style dive that we saw before with the triple DPS, and I like the triple DPS that we've seen as well with the Hanzo, the Pharah, and the Sombra. Especially with the dual support, a lot of teams decide to run quad DPS instead, but we see Lastro getting a huge amount of value in that composition out of Zenyatta and the Discord Orb.
Yeah, we saw a little bit from a player called Horthic also, Genji on the offense on Horizon, but not as much as obviously we'd like to see, of course. It looks like they're going to hold right up to the gate. Surprise, surprise. But this time Harry's going to be quad tank. It's going to be a Lucio and a Moira. That beautiful bio grenade from the heavens, though, is going to land duplicating a whole nest of trouble. He's going to be able to find the pin, though, somehow on Attitude. I don't know how that managed to happen, but they're still going to be able to kill him off. There will be Skyfoxes running out of spawn with glee. Lastro once again carrying with these bio grenades.
That right there was such a strong set play from Skyfoxes. What we instantly saw was Buds getting a hack onto Pika, so there was no defense matrix available. And you can see that Nishik is now actually sort of like bending to the whim of Lastro. He is actually going to give up the potential to have that Discord Orb advantage on Clone Man. by moving over to the Anno. I found this incredibly surprising because that was one of the few advantages that was had in this Ghost competition.
Lastro's already used sleep. I'm looking for that bio grenade. There it is, straight onto Faz and the shatter as well. Cloneman just moved past Duplicate Shield, who was also inflicted with a bio grenade, yet still swinging. I'm not sure about that one, my man. Pika is going to go down as well. A nice bio grenade to seal the deal and top everybody else off. 20% towards that nano. We got the EMP as well. Skyfox is swimming in ults.
Well, you know what I said about Cloneman when they subbed him in for Reinhardt Specialist, and he's already proven that very well. Duplicate's going to be trying to build up towards his own Earth Shadow, or one swing or one flash strike will make that happen, but he might be able to lay it down with this hack and Bionade.
Hack straight into the E key. Thank you very much, says Lastro. Attitude taking 4 kills of his own as well. Doesn't want to pop the rally too soon. They're going to try and stall Pika out, but did try and make his way towards the cart. Beautiful cat, and 5 minutes to work with as well.
And crucially, that was a single ultimate fight win as well. Only Buds' EMP had to be invested. The other abilities that were used, like the Barrage Grenade, are so strong just as basic abilities that nothing else was required from Skyfoxes to claim that particular area. Phase 2 going to move in from the high ground now and rotate down onto Skyfox.
What was that?
Bullying!
Buds with the hack onto Duplicate, straight into the boop. Oh, I didn't even know. At this point, I'd be out F4 if I was a Duplicate right now. He is not having a good game.
He is not having any fun right now. And once again, only one ultimate required. Cloneman using the Shadow and nothing else was used from Skyfoxes. They are playing the ult economy game perfectly. They're using what they need to and just combining it with basic abilities, and it's winning it out so cleanly. And here, Phase 2 have managed to stockpile themselves a significant amount of ultimates.
There's the rally, there's the grab. Phase chugging it straight on in, straight onto Duplicate, who is going to get nanoed. There is going to be a reverse Graviton Surge straight on to the rest of Skyfoxes, mixed with the self-destruct. All those assists by Pika is going to find Phase. They're still fighting, but that Honor Grenade swash straight onto that wall, and everybody glowing purple. They're going to finally win a fight. Phase 2 holding before this second point. First team fight win, Harry, and they did it with style. Nishik says, you got nades? I got some more.
I got nades too, but the price of stability is high, Jaws. So many ultimates invested from both sides, and Buds once again has the EMP ready to go. And after the EMP strikes, I imagine the primary target will once again be Duplicate. They'll be going for the EMP into Biotic Grenade rotation. It's got to be down to Pika to try and move behind some kind of terrain in order to avoid that EMP so that he can eat that Biotic Grenade and cancel the set play.
Bird goes in, straight into the EMP. That shatter hit absolutely nobody. Cloneman with the first whiff shatter of the game. Another beautiful bio grenade actually landing onto Duplicate. And actually, they also threw out their own bio grenade onto their tanks. So that as soon as they come out of being purple, they instantly get that big boost of being able to be healed a little bit more, which is kind of nice. But didn't use it quite as effectively. Cloneman jumps to the back line with a nano, gets afflicted with a bio grenade once again, cleansed with a shield, another shatter from Cloneman. 2 out of 2 this fight,
oh my.
and sends Pika into the drink. The rest of his team don't need him. He's done his job, Harry. He's done his job. They cap second point, a 4-minute time bank as well to push on to last.
And crucially, that cap does mean that Cloneman will get the forward spawn and won't be wanting for a while in terms of long respawn times. And that was actually a good split from Phase 2 in their initial defense there to make sure that both Pika and Faz could not be hacked at the same time. There would always be a mitigating factor to try and save Duplicate, be it the sound barrier or eating the Bardic Grenade.
Don't lay down the shield, Duplicate. The grab goes in, but Pika says thank you very much. Adds another one to his tally, eats it right on up. Attitude is going to find the kill onto King. Duplicate with the back slam. Bud's actually hacked him mid-slam and actually cancelled it out completely. And now Attitude running rampant with Flowman in the front line. Oh dear me, Duplicate not having a good game. 5% on ult charge. He has to rely on that grab to build up another one as Skyfoxes push on towards last.
And once again, Buds has the EMP. I keep talking about it because it's just so important. Duplicate here needs to have his charge available to try and make this combination work. It's an early EMP, but Duplicate can't charge through the shield to be good.
Self-destruct, Harry. Pika finds one in the back line. Duplicate swinging in, finally picks himself up a kill. 70% on another shatter. That Bud's EMP on the back line to stop the charge was so perfect, but it was all too little too late as that self-destruct was already coming out.
So that was a great understanding from Phase 2 Xayah of what Skyfoxes give up when they pick up the Sombra. They don't have that D.Va, so they can basically yeet these grabs all the way across the entire map and make sure that when Buds wasn't using the EMP already, the ultimates had been used. They called Buds' bluff, they made sure that he was using it later than was required and got that initial pick onto Mac.
Well, they got Clone Man's Shatter. There's the Bio Grenade on top of him, but the damage resistance doing a good job of keeping him alive. The Shatter from Duplicate is met with a Shatter from Clone Man. 3 people hit the ground. That will be Skyfoxes delivering this payload unless Onyx can go for the touch. Unfortunately not. Bud's even hacked him, and the Nano came out from Nish from Spawn. But round 1 completed, and Skyfox on an absolute tear.
That was about as good as you can ask for from Rialto, having about 2 minutes in the time bank. Rialto is one of those maps where we kind of expect it to be held at some point. Full completion is definitely a little bit rarer than on some other maps, like, let's say, Dorado or Watchpoint Gibraltar, where we often go to additional rounds. So you can be pretty happy with that if you're Skyfoxes, but I want to see if Skyfoxes have a kind of a unique approach to the defense here. We do see Buds continually bring out this Sombra, but will it be such a good pick on the defense, where obviously you want to have as many ways as possible to mitigate those incoming combos, which is your win percentage as a 3-3 team. You want to be able to mitigate those gravitons into self-destructs, and obviously Phase 2 have worked out that they can just yeet the grabs and self-destructs from wherever now, because there's no danger of them being eaten without a D.Va on the field.
Those downtown grabs. It's the worst thing in the world. If you just had a D.Va, you hit right click. It did get nerfed, defense matrix that is, but still, let's be fair to ourselves. Pika is making it look easy. Every single grab that goes for it is like, oh, cheers, thank you. Adds another one to the bank, and you can't let that happen. Now the D.Va matrix has been nerfed to where you have to wait 2 seconds instead of the full second for it to be usable again. You have to be able to track that as the Xayah. As soon as that goes down, you throw it on in because you know that D.Va isn't going to be there with the defense matrix.
Yeah, Xayah's only got stronger, being able to better anticipate the defense matrix. But let's have a look at the compositions. Buds once again playing on the Sombra. Once again, the D.Va's going to be forgone here. Evidently, Skyfoxes prefer to have the ability to take away the abilities of a particular character on the side of Phase 2. But for now, Phase 2 are actually going to go once again for this Pharah up in the sky. But we're actually going to see double tanks from Duplicate and Pika. This is sort of like an isomer of what they've shown before on Horizon Lunar Colony and King's Row. They're forgoing their own usage of a flanker and instead going for double projectile DPS, so they do a lot of damage to Clone Man's shield.
Ooh, Clone Man almost got booped there. A hack did go onto King, I believe. Yes, it was. As she gets sent down to the ground. And that'll be Buds. Just trying to find these hacks on to the Pharah, so she is a little bit more in trouble when she is on the ground. However, with Buds going down now, nothing really to actually contest it in the air apart from Lastro. So she's going to earn himself another, well, a rocket barrage, sorry, rather quickly.
With Buds getting picked there, must have been a call that the translocator was destroyed, but already Phase being given the nano boost, and with all this energy, is going to be doing a huge amount of damage. Look at his grab charge already, Jaws.
Yeah, cheers for that mech, Pika. Thank you very much. There's nothing you can do, mate. 100% energy and a nano boost. Nah. That's all my ult charge now, thank you. Onyx,
Phase through a long-range mortar, actually caught King on his disengage. It was a beautiful catch from the Pharah, but a little bit of extra ultimate charge here for Phase, who now has ready to go that Graviton Surge. But once again, Pika's been great at eating these, so it needs to be better tracking that defense matrix.
He's on the high ground now, looking to maybe catch Pika here. If you catch King, that's actually perfect, but he is in the air, of course. A Graviton Surge does come through. It lands onto Onyx only. Maybe Duplicate was dragged in there as well from underneath. However, only one person going down for side of Phase 2, and Faz using that Valkyrie also does end up finding the res. Attitude
tried to go for whip shot there to knock away Faz and make sure that res didn't go through, but the Valkyrie meant that the knockback wasn't really quite as effective because the flight altitude could be maintained. Bud's going to open up with an EMP. Everyone's hacked.
Oh, King! Faz a little bit worse for wear now. Attitude just pinning her up against the wall. Mace to the face ends up ending her life, but the rest of Phase just looking, you take out one, that's no worries. We got the rest of our team to actually just scramble yours. Bud sends out the EMP, hits 5 people, Harry, but it didn't matter in the end because King kept alive.
And one of the great things about having this DPS heavy comp against the Sombra is that they don't really use they don't lose a huge amount of their efficacy when they don't have their abilities ready to go. There's still a huge amount of damage.
Oh,
See
no.
Attitude.
Attitude tried to shield bash as well onto the side. He takes out Buds as well, so clean on the far already. He doesn't even need to use ult, but it's just going to make sure they can secure first point. They got more ults they can shake a stick at, Harry. They got 4 available to them. 3 available to Skyfoxes, but a very, very quick and clean cap coming through for phase 2.
Yeah, that's all on King and the attitude adjustment right at the beginning, making sure Brigida was not there, ensuring that those shield bashes would not be available, so that meant Pika and Duplicate were free to fly as they wished, because one of your main fears as a diva up against a Brigida is that you will get shield bashed during your boosters, and if that happens, you lose all momentum, and of course they go on cooldown, so your 600 HP can be farmed incredibly fast for ultimate charge.
Uh-oh. They've been spotted out now. That bio grenade landing straight on top of everybody, so no incoming damage was really negated. There's the dragon. Straight onto the Reinhardt, dash straight on through. That self-destruct being launched over the top as well. Cloman's gonna have to block it. He almost gets pooped away from Duplicate, who is primal raging in the back line. Mag does end up going down to the dragons, but they trade 1 for 1 as King ends up going down as well. Onyx is going to fall too. Faz tries to get the cheeky res. Cloman couldn't quite punish him, but with that, Duplicate receiving no healing, neither was King, and they end up falling regardless.
Nishik falling off there. I wonder if he thought there'd been a call for a reset, but Faz was actually rezzing King at the time. King's actually going to swap over. He was 97% of the way towards his barrage, while instead opts for a Brigade Savannah, but here, swapping over to the 3-3 is far more important. They can try and catch out Buds, who's going to have a significant amount of protection. We'll use for High Noon. Won't be able to get anyone there with a Deadeye.
It even bubbled him too. It just wants to make sure. You get a Zaya bubble, plus Cloman shield. There's nothing really taking you out from that. No ult's really available for the side of phase 2. It's going to be the problem. Cloman, got to be careful. King takes a nice little plonking. Another Graviton Surge eaten. Pika just unbelievable use of the defense matrix. Face, you've got to be more careful. Onyx actually gets booped into the drinker. They trade kind of 1 for 1. There's Cloman end up going down finally after Duplicate just ran headfirst into him. He was going to go down sooner or later. That Discord orb was on him. Now no main tank for the side. The Skyfoxes are going to have to be a little bit more careful. Duplicate ends up shattering the ground and taking out FaZe, who was actually nano boosted as well. Buds is going to fall also. That bio grenade was good, but is it going to be good enough? I don't think so. Attitude and Lastra are going to fall.
So I'd argue that's a very worthwhile Earth Shadow right there. Duplicate managing to shut down FaZe, and he had already used his personal barrier. He could not allow FaZe with that much energy and a nano boost to just carve through his team and doing, I don't know, probably like 300 DPS with his beam attack, and that does mean that he is going to be building up towards that Graviton Surge incredibly quickly. And knowing that Duplicate isn't here, there's going to be a quick back off from phase 2, conceding space and making sure Skyfoxes can't get the maximum leverage out of this rally.
What a sleep! Pika actually got slept in midair. Buds is using that High Noon again. Everybody's behind Duplicate's shield, but Faz definitely was not. He was taking a little look at those boats, Harry. We wondered if one of those was for sale. They definitely aren't anymore. Pika goes for a quick reset as he jumps off of the edge. This is 38 seconds now remaining for the side of phase 2. This could be Skyfoxes taking the game if they're not quick.
We were shopping the boats, but Buds has an offer you would not believe, and now Skyfox is in a commanding position. They've got both of their support ultimates ready to go. They've got the Graviton Surge, they've got the Earth Shatter. Buds will quickly be able to build up towards one of those Deadeyes as well, but here, phase 2 also going to be coming in with their tank ultimates to have that all-important combo.
Nice grab, straight onto Cloman. Buds, look at that, nano boost and sound barrier invested in another beautiful grab coming through from Skyfoxes, and a grenade landed on top. Duplicate goes down, King's going to fall as well. 3 seconds now remain. Peak is going to get eliminated. OT ticks through, and Skyfoxes will hold the push of phase 2, take the series 3-1.
And what could you ask for more? The old classic Buds McCree coming in with a Deadeye, getting some huge value there. Getting those early picks did mean that phase 2's momentum was quickly shattered there. Speaking of quick shatters.
Hey, it's like you led into that one perfectly. Cloman has just been a beautiful asset to the squad, already making a massive impact. Look at that. 2 kills with the nano boost. Who else are you going to give it to? Sacrifice himself. Pika, see you later, mate. You've had too many of my team's grabs already. I might as well just take you off the edge. Pika has also been a standout performer as well. Well, he gets a card 4 minutes objective time, but it should have been how many grabs he's eaten over the course of the series. It's been at least 3 to 4. It's absolutely insane, Diva.
Yeah, absolutely, and definitely the eating of the grabs did mitigate quite a few win conditions that Skyfoxes were trying to play towards, and they couldn't really draw even on that particular win condition because they weren't playing their own diva, except when they had Buds move over onto the Zyra and shunted FaZe back over to the diva. But I think FaZe proved to be quite effective on the Zyra as well. He did manage to leverage high energy quite well, and we did see counterattacks using nano Zyas in places where potentially you shouldn't be able to get so much value, where Skyfox has just managed to make it work using the tracking skills of FaZe.
Problem is, Pika's right there, man.
He's right there. Just
He's
staring.
gonna hold right click.
Try me.
He is probably one of the scariest divas after this patch that I've seen. I haven't seen like crazy amounts of competitive play. I haven't sat in on too many scrims or anything, but Diva, especially coming up against Aya, I think, wow, such a disadvantage. But Pika honestly makes it look easy. He was definitely a standout performer. But Skyfox has actually taken this series overall 3-1. FaZe at least clutching out one map. I mean, it was a hard-fought map, yes, on Horizon, but at the end of it all, even Bud's like popping off on the Sombra, something that we thought we'd see, especially at the start of the 3-3 meta, was a little bit more Sombra. I was kind of disappointed Buds didn't even jump onto the Reaper. I'm not going to lie, but
it would be an old classic Buds.
Maybe we'll see some of that later on in the tournament. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, maybe we will see some Reaper come through. Of course, it does have a large amount of that, what do you call it, lifesteal now. So he does have some sustainability. So I'm not sure if we'll be seeing him move in instead of a Diva. But it does seem like with the recent nerfs to Defense Matrix, Diva is one that's in vogue to swap out in your classic 3-3 if you want to try and have a kind of different approach.
Well, as a different approach, we're going to jump to a quick break. It's more and more of the same approach, really. We're going to jump to a quick break, guys. We'll be right back. Game number 4 of this evening coming up very soon.